So I think the first challenge that we face today, which is truly unprecedented, we are literally the first generation in history that is having to cope with an inflection point in the pace of change. Literally, change has changed, and it's changed in our lifetimes. We live in a world today that seems like it's all punctuation and very little equilibrium. Change is seditious, it's unrelenting, it's ever surprising. But think about this for a moment. Think about kind of an exponential curve. Imagine just an exponential curve. And think about the things in our world right now that are changing at an exponential pace. Just think about that for a moment. What things are changing at an exponential pace? CO2 emissions, they're going up at an exponential pace. The number of internet connections in the world, on that same curve. The amount of data storage out there, same curve. Number of mobile devices connected to the web, also going up on that kind of a curve. The number of genes that we've sequenced, also on that kind of a curve. And I can tell you, if you go back 100 years ago, there was nothing that was changing at an exponential pace. This is entirely new. But we face other challenges. The second kind of fundamental new reality for most companies around the world today is hyper-competition. Right? If you go back a few years, there were all kinds of barriers that protected the incumbents from the winds of creative destruction. And those barriers, they used to protect a company's margins. They fattened up, they allowed you to keep your prices high, they fatten the margins. As those barriers come down, every company is in a bare-knuckle fight to defend its margins, defend its position in the marketplace, and the only way of doing that is through innovation. So as accelerating change requires companies to be more adaptable, the winds of creative destruction are forcing companies to be more creative, more inventive. You have to earn your place in the market every single day. Third challenge I think organizations face today, and perhaps maybe the most pressing one. We also live in a world where knowledge itself is becoming a commodity, where it's getting harder and harder for any organization to really differentiate itself, to bring something kind of truly new and unique to the marketplace. Today, knowledge advantages dissipate very, very quickly because your good people go work for your competitor, because you have an army of consultants around the world benchmarking all these companies and transferring knowledge from the fast to the slow and the smart to the not so smart, because all these companies are using the same network of business partners and vendors. That's another conduit for moving all of this knowledge around. So in that world, it's much less about, what kind of knowledge advantage do I have right now, then how fast am I creating new knowledge? With the emphasis on the word create. So we've talked about three kind of profound challenges that organizations are facing. How do you build a company that can change as fast as change itself? How do you build a company where innovation is the work of everybody all the time, every day? And how do you create an organization where people are willing to bring you the gifts of their initiative, their creativity, and their passion? I believe the companies that thrive over the next decade and beyond are going to be the companies that make progress on this. The companies that evolve their management models faster than their competitors in ways that make them more adaptable, more innovative, and more engaging places to work.